22 huge improvements to Wuthering Waves. We want to know what improvements are happening out there. Hello everyone, this is Ron. Welcome to another Wuthering Waves video, and today I'm going to react to a video that is recently published by Wuthering Radio, a specially dedicated YouTube channel towards the information about Wuthering Waves. The channel is managed by our all favorite Lena and her team, who are doing amazing work for different games of Kuro games, Punishing Grey Raven and Wuthering Waves. Amazing work. So let's see how this thing is working on, what are the improvements we are getting from the Wuthering Waves developer. Now, first thing first, disclaimer that I haven't really got any access to the beta. I wrote to them for the access, I applied, but somehow they didn't select. I know it would have been amazing to get access to the beta and review the game. It would have been an amazing experience, but it didn't work out somehow. But I think still I can use this failure. I can use this failure as my strength, because it allows me to actually talk about the game from a normal person's standpoint, a person just like you, who are having a simple expectation from a gacha game that will provide you good gameplay with nice combat, good graphic system, and a very F2P friendly gacha mechanism at the same time. Because since it's a gacha game, it has to be really F2P friendly. But as far as I know, that this game has a problem, and that problem is related to the gacha system. That is, this game is not offering a 100% guaranteed PT. It is always offering a 50-50 chance, just the same as Genshin Impact. Now it remains to be seen that whether they are going to do anything about it, or are we going to find any suitable ground to accept this 50-50 gacha system, because it remains to be seen that how many copies of the character we will need to develop and these sort of things, how much we actually need to develop. Because for example, in Punishing Grey Raven, we can develop a character totally in a free way up to SS rank. That is quite enough to complete each and every game mode. So let's see what are the solutions coming for us.
Waves is an open-world action RPG with amazing combat and a monster collection aspect. Sounds like a recipe for success, right? But just 10 months ago, its future was uncertain. After taking player feedback from the last beta test seriously, Kuro Games rewrote a whopping 90% of the story and changed countless other aspects of the game. These are 22 of the ways that Wuthering Waves has improved in its second closed beta test.
Alright, first of all, about the story. I think story is integral part of any game, but not really a major importance for 100% of the players, if you think. I mean, there are certain players who are very much careful about the stories. They watch entire stories, and also, let's be honest, there is a huge amount of player who simply would like to skip the stories and proceed with the battle. So story improvement is good, but it's not going to appeal to the 100% people.
Beginning with one of my favorite features, an unsettling NPC will introduce you to the depths of Elusive Realm, a roguelike game mode that provides unique challenges as you pit one lone character against rooms of mobs and bosses. Before each run, you'll choose an echo to equip and can eventually unlock abilities only seen here, such as the ability to fully transform into your echo. You can even unlock echo exclusive resonance skills that do massive damage. Every single
Okay, the concept of echo I understood now. It is, kind of equipping a supernatural being with your character, and during the battle, your character can use the abilities of that supernatural being, which is known as echo. It is kind of reminds me of the concept of summons. If you have played Final Fantasy VII, you know that how summons work. In those games also people were able to equip those summons, which are kind of supernatural being, to their character and use their abilities to destroy the enemies. So this is a very nice, interesting concept, guys.
Character model and accompanying animations have been upgraded in a big way. We've got subtle eye movements, flowing hair, and Okay, maybe it's not perfect yet. Rover is
Okay, so whatever I understood from this part is they are going to bring a lot of changes in terms of character appearance, their designs, their movement, graphics, and stuff. These are also very welcome improvements for sure.
the main character of Wuthering Waves, and you can choose between the female or male version at the start of the game. Fortunately, she or he has a lot of personality now, and despite often being silent, even gets to speak during some cutscenes. Before I talk about the next character who hugely benefited from the rewrite, I want to talk about this video's sponsor.
Okay,
Awesome
let's skip this
Champions,
part.
Intense PvE and PvP. Since Rover has learned to be more independent, Yang Yang no longer needs to be Rover's constant companion in the story. Sometimes they split up. She's a competent character who will earn your respect through her actions, and I'm glad she feels like
Wow, doesn't she look like Lucia Plume? Her face is totally like Lucia Plume, I think. She's so beautiful.
more than Rover's mouthpiece now. The environments are much more vibrant, in some areas. This is still a post-apocalyptic game, and when you play, you'll find many strange and uncanny places. The contrast between vibrant and spooky locations allows the latter to have a much bigger impact. Your terminal is kind of like a Pokédex, and now it levels up just by capturing echoes of different rarities. Before, catching echoes wasn't enough. You also had to level them up with precious XP materials, which felt like a waste if you didn't have any good echoes to invest in. This new system really encourages the monster catching aspect of the game.
Okay, so they kind of improve the way the eco works, and now we can level them up more easily. That's what are they talking about?
The map has a nice new design. It could still use a few quality of life features, but it's easy to navigate, and I
Map looks kind of confusing to me. I think they could add some more details somehow.
like looking at it. In co-op mode, you can now see your allies' location on the map. Yeah, that didn't exist before. Character quests used to be really boring, but now feature beautifully animated cutscenes and unique dungeons. Wuthering Waves now has some of the most beautiful gacha animations for obtaining characters I've ever.
This is the most important part, guys. Pay attention. Because the biggest problem with this gacha game, as far as I have heard, that this gacha game is not having any guaranteed pity. That means there is a 50-50 chance. There's a 50% chance to get the main character, or also there is a 50% chance that you won't get the main character and get some other characters that you don't even care about. That's the big problem. Let's see what are they talking about.
Ever seen. It really feels like you're being rewarded anytime you pull a character, even a 4-star. Localization has improved significantly.
So they're talking about the animation. I'm not really sure they are not bringing any changes in the main gacha. That is 50-50 still out there.
Some sections are rougher than others, but Kuro Games has already made it clear that it's in an unfinished state right now. Once the game has some more time to cook, I really believe it will have a solid localization. It's already better than PGR's, not that that's saying much. Echo skills have been reanimated and have a much bigger impact now. Although they can be pretty powerful, they're balanced by the fact that your character can still get hit while you use them, so you need to be tactical. It adds a nice element of risk versus reward. The villains are actually interesting now. Thank you, writing team, for rescuing them from mediocrity.
Character design looks absolutely stunning without any doubt.
When you meet Scar in the story, you'll understand. Tutorials are now plentiful in the game, but they don't feel obnoxious. Most of them are opt-in when a relevant situation arises.
I hope
I was
so.
convinced the game never told me that immediately after evasion, you can basic attack to counter with huge damage. But it's actually in the description for extreme evasion. Vaguely. This is why you should read your skill descriptions, everyone.
So the combat is going to be top notch, guys. There will be dodge counter, there will be resonance, there will be parry, these sort of things. Excellent. And that's what we have already expected from PGR developers.
5-star limited characters such as Jian and Yinlin debut alongside a signature weapon. Unlike the character banner, the weapon banner is 100% guaranteed to give you.
Wait a minute. Did you guys hear what she said? Unlike the character banner, the weapon banner is guaranteed 100%. That means there is a guarantee in the weapon banner, there is a pity, and after summoning certain amount of time you will get the weapon for sure, just same as PGR. But the character banner, it's not guaranteed. That's the biggest problem, guys.
The advertised weapon when you reach the pity of 80 pulls.
So you need 80 time to pull. You need 80 pulls to get the 5-star weapon guaranteed.
Morning Aches no longer has an extremely long death animation. It was bittersweet, but not after the 50th time you beat it. I love standing out in the rain, but I don't love that characters somehow stay dry and are unaffected by wind. One might say the weather leaves them unwithered. I'd wager polish like that will come when the game is fully released. This boss is no longer sequestered off in a random dungeon. What was once its old lair is just part of the overworld now. On your journey, you'll come across tacit discords with a red aura. These high-level enemies serve as one-time.
So looks like the combat, they're talking about the combat. This combat is going to be very, interesting. There are a lot of mechanisms, the graphics, everything is going to be superbly high quality. We got that. That's so good.
And defeating them earns you a trophy and guarantees the highest rarity echo of that creature. Great for leveling your terminal. Dodge counters deal massive damage to them even at low levels, so you can take on the challenge anytime. Just don't get hit. Hologram battles are punishing fights that will test your ability to dodge and parry. Enemies gain extra mechanics as you ascend in difficulty. The boss fights in this game are excellently designed, and hologram battles are a perfect way to fully realize them.
So the boss fights are going to be also very, very skilled battles. You have to use certain mechanisms. There will be certain dots, usual stuffs, but top-notch quality, guys.
The version of the main story used to involve traveling to each zone, solving each area's problems, and taking down the local boss. Formulaic, to say the least. Fortunately, each boss story is now in a separate exploration quest, freeing up the main story to be more interesting and incentivizing players to explore each area. And finally, once you complete certain milestones for map exploration, you can unlock tools to help you discover treasure you've missed. Craftable radars for caskets and chests take the frustration out of searching for the last few things you need. But my absolute favorite improvements go beyond just the small stuff, which is why you need to watch this video, where I cover the biggest changes in Wuthering Waves Closed Beta 2.
Okay, it is interesting to know that they are bringing this quality of life improvement in this game in terms of battles, battle mechanism, and graphics, character movements, probably boss fights. Everything is getting improved, and also the storyline is going to be improved. So you have to play in a different way. That we all got that, no problem with that. We are happy with this sort of quality of life change, but I think the biggest elephant in the room is going to be that 50-50 gacha system, which is kind of a little bit of a no to many players. Many players would not like to have a 50-50 gacha system at all. And I have tried couple of games. I was never a big fan of 50-50 gacha system. Then I wanted to try a certain game that let's see how it works, but I found that no way, my previous belief was right. I mean, gacha system, if there is no guaranteed pity, is kind of difficult for my, I would say, mental health, or I would say in terms of feeling safe in a game after spending a lot of currencies. These are certain issues that any game should take care of, and any company should take care of. But looks like the recent trend has been changed, because the Hoyoverse games, especially Genshin Impact, has started this trend probably, or I know took this trend to a massive scale, and still they are, I think, they are always remaining within this top 1 or 2 position in terms of monthly revenues or yearly revenues. So as much as it is true that a lot of people will not like this 50-50 gacha system, for example, people like me, there are also people who would like to have 50-50 gacha system. So I think, as I have said that previously, that story cannot be a universal problem for everyone. So this gacha system is also cannot be considered as a universal problem for everyone, because there are certain people who are liking this gacha, there are certain people who are not liking this gacha. So overall, I think the game is going to be a great one, especially from the developers of Punishing Grey Raven. We do not really expect something ordinary, and looks like this game is going to go beyond our expectation. So let me know in the comments about what you think about the overall setup of this game, how it's gonna work, what do you think about it. Let me know, and I hope to see you guys soon in some other videos. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to support the content, support the channel, and see you soon in some other videos. Till then, stay awesome and peace out, my friends.